Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is my channel Ladybug Stitches. Today is August 12th and this is Flosstube number 33. I'm going to start today's video out with a shop update and some news about my shop and a new release. So the news about my shop is I have a 20% off sale going on right now for my second anniversary of having my shop open. So if you're interested in any of my patterns, go check them out. The link is down below. It is 20% off until August 18th at 11:59 p.m. I'm very excited about it, so please go check it out if you're interested. And while you're there, you can check out my new release, which is called Scarecrow Sam, and this is the little cutie. I absolutely love him so much. I stitched this on a 14 count fabric. It is an orange with some green dye on it. And here is the back. I chose this cute little bird pattern. For the sides, I did this orange cording with this weird kind of trim that has like these little, I don't even know what you would call them, but I'm going to call them orange thingies. So I did double that up a little bit. And I just made him into a cute little pillow. And I think he's so adorable. He's not really good at his job because the birds and the crows are still all around him. But at least the pumpkins are still intact. So he is a cutie and he gets a pass. So this pattern is available in my Etsy shop as a PDF download right now. And I also have the paper pattern available, and it has been available to shops for a little while now, so your shop might have it already. If it doesn't, you can always contact your local needlework shop and they can get it in stock for you. So this is Scarecrow Sam, and I think he's so cute. Okay, so those are my two little updates on that. Next, we have some FFOs because I was doing a lot of FFOing. Some I can't show you yet, but I have some that I can show you. We're going to start with one that is a start, a finish, and a fully finish. I think it's called a Sappho. So this stitched up within like half an hour, and it was just a little project that my cousin and I decided we really wanted to do. I found this pattern on Pinterest and I really wanted to stitch it, and I tried tracking it down. It was being sold on Etsy. It is no longer being sold on Etsy. So I decided that I did not get the pattern, but I just looked at the picture and I designed it myself. I think that's okay because I did my due diligence and could not find it for sale anywhere. So I just retraced it into my program and printed it out for my cousin and I. I will not be sharing this pattern just because it isn't my pattern to share, but if you are interested, I can try and help you out with that maybe. I don't know if anybody's gonna be interested in it or not, but it is from this cartoon that was on YouTube like 15-20 years ago called Charlie the Unicorn. My cousin and I watched these little videos all the time when we were young, and we were always quoting them to each other, and as soon as I saw this picture I sent it to her immediately and we both decided we really needed to stitch it. So it's more of it's just back stitching pretty much, or black work, I don't know what you want to call it, but it says shun the non-believer, and so this one is mine and this one is my cousin's. I did mine on a fabric, they're both on 14 count, but hers is like a white cream color and mine is this funky dyed fabric that I dyed over Christmas break. I chose a dark gray floss and she chose a purple floss. And I finished them both the same way. I wanted to try to get the fun colors of the cartoon. If you don't know, it's a cartoon about these two unicorns and they're talking to their friend Charlie, who's in the middle here, and they're trying to convince him to go to the Candy Mountain. So there's a lot of fun colors and it's a really fun and almost dark kind of cartoon. If I remember, I'll try to link it down below, but if I don't, I'm sorry. I don't remember to link everything when I finish my videos. But I wanted a lot of color in here to try and get that Candy Mountain kind of vibe going. And then I found this colorful rickrack that my grandma had gifted me. and I finally had a use for it, so I decided to put it on here, and I think they turned out really cute. We didn't want anything really big. I tried to figure out like a stand-up kind of thing or like a flat fold, something like that, but I ended up deciding on just doing a little pillow. So this one is mine and this one is my cousin, and I will be able to get this to her now that I have shown it. But I think they turned out super cute, and like I said, this literally took me like no more than half an hour to stitch up, so it was super, super fast. So those are my first FFOs. I have not a lot of room today, so I'm trying to figure out where to put everything. Next, I have, this is sort of a pair, but I'll show you separate first. I had already finished, this is Miss July by Sweet Wing Studio. I had already stitched this and shown you guys, but I hadn't FFO'd it yet. So here is my fully finish. I wanted to put it on these little cardboard boxes that my mom had and was getting rid of. So I finished it as a circle. It's kind of a wonky circle because I had to keep cutting it down to make sure it fit. And then I added this red kind of sparkly trim to the outside of it. And so that is that one. And then I finished stitching, so this is also a finish. 4th of July Round by Primrose Cottage. This was a freebie. If you're part of her email newsletter, she sends out one free pattern every first Thursday of the month. So this one was the one for July, I think, or maybe June, I can't remember. I'm not sure if you can get these afterwards. I haven't really checked, but so I'm not really sure if you can get this now, but I'm sure somebody else can answer that in the comments if you know. But I worked really hard on trying to get this one done, and I finally did. Uh-oh, I'm throwing, like I said, I have not a lot of room, and I just threw my other finish on the floor. But here is my finish of this one. I stitched both of these on 32 count light blue Lugana, I think it is. I wanted them to kind of match because I wanted to finish them on the same kind of box. As you can see, one is red and one is blue. I decided this one was more blue and this one was more red, so that's what I went with. I also finished it as a circle, and I put that same cording around the outside as well. This one was an absolute pain to stitch because it is stitched over one with, I pulled some overdyed flosses, some fancy flosses that I had, and I did end up deciding to put the white in the flag. I really did not want to do that because it is so small, and I wasn't sure my needle would be able to get in there without ruining all the other stitches. But I am glad that I did that because I think it turned out really nice with the white in there. But like I said, I really wanted to get this one done because it was just dragging on me, and I wanted to be able to fully finish this one because I finished them at the same time. But I think they turned out really cute, and I'm really happy with them. I can't wait to put them out next year for 4th of July. So for right now, they're gonna have to go away, but I am super happy with how they both turned out. I love them so much. So that is my last fully finish because I had a problem with my other fully finish that I really wanted to do. So the other finish, I'm gonna throw this on the floor. The other project that I had sitting waiting to be fully finished, because I can't have a basket of things that are finished stitching and not fully finished yet. I can't stand having that. So literally everything that I have stitched, except for the thing I just finished yesterday, has been fully finished now, and I cannot have a basket. Like, some of you guys, you are awesome if it works for you, but I cannot have a basket of things that need to be fully finished for too long because it drives me nuts, and I just want to get them done and ready to be displayed. So I had to get those done because I didn't want them to wait any longer. So yeah, and then this one, this is Scatter Freedom by Shepherd's Bush. I finished stitching this back in June with just one for June, and I knew how I wanted to finish this one. I have done 2 other ones in this series. I did Scatter Hearts and Scatter Eggs for Easter and Valentine's Day. I also have the Scatter Pumpkins, the one for like Halloween, October. I have that pattern, I just haven't stitched it yet. And I know there's also Scatter Christmas something, and there's Scatter Sunshine. I meant to look up which other ones that they have. I would love to do the whole series. They are really fun and really quick to do, and they're really cute. I mean, how adorable is that? So I finished all of them, let me show you, in this little black tray that I painted. It's really cute. It sits inside of it, and I think they turned out really good. So I really wanted to finish them all into this. And something that hadn't crossed my mind, after I got pretty far in finishing, I finished the board, so that goes in here. And I finished the stitching, and I put my buttons on there, and I was so excited, and I went to go glue it in. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. I was so upset. I literally, when I saw that it didn't fit, I gasped. I got up and I walked away, and I just could not. I could not. Like, I was so upset. And then I was sitting here, I was trying to figure out like if there's anything I could do while I was waiting to start my video. And I was thinking, I want your opinion on this. I really want to finish them all into this finishing board. Do you think it would look weird? Now I'm going to do a different sized background, but do you think it would look weird if it sits on these little edges here, like if it sits on the outside of it? So I'll do the backer so it fits flush with it. It's kind of hard to show, but it'll sit like right on it. I'll get a bigger size, of course, and then it'll sit right there on top of it. Do you think that would be too weird, like that it's popped out that way? I mean, I don't know, because I really want to finish it in this board. And like I always put little doodads down at the bottom, like I'll put some star buttons or something, or maybe some florally picks if I have some that are 4th of July themed. But do you think that would be weird? Like it's sitting on that outer edge of it. It's at least like flush with the side, so you wouldn't see it from the back, so it's not sticking out. It's like exactly the width of the tray. Or do you think I should figure something else out? Because I really wanted them all to be in the same tray and finished the same way. Or do you think I should find something else? I'm not sure. Please let me know down below. I'm thinking I might lean towards something like this. You can kind of see it now if I push it forwards. Like I said, I'm gonna get a different board to make it actually fit. But do you think that would be weird? Please let me know. But I really want to finish this soon. Okay, so yeah, let me know. So that was supposed to be my other fully finish. Then I also have some crafty finishes that aren't cross stitch. So if you are on TikTok at all, what I really like to doing on TikTok is seeing all of the different seasonal stuff that they're selling in all the stores. So one of the seasonal things that they were selling in Michael's is this ghost picture where it has like 3D ghost in a line and stuff. And then I saw on TikTok that people rightfully were really outraged at the $60 price tag. I'm pretty sure that's how much it costs, and that's absolutely crazy. So people were DIYing their own, and I realized after watching a couple of those videos that I had all of the supplies I needed. I didn't have to buy anything, so of course I had to make my own, and this is my version of it. So if you are interested in making your own, I highly recommend do not buy this from the store because it is not worth the price at all. So I already had this canvas. I had been gifted it from a friend who is moving, and I just painted it black, and then this is just spackle. You can cut out like a little ghost shape out of like cardboard, or I had the plastic that strawberries came in, so I just cut it out of the lid. And you can do a couple different sizes. I did it all the same size because I did not feel like cutting out another piece of plastic. But then you just scrape it on with the plastic or the spackle. You kind of don't want to do too much, but you don't want to do too little. That's what I found out. And then once this is dried, then just do little eyes on them. I did kind of different shaped eyes for each one. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. I think it's super cute, and this is going to be a great addition to my Halloween stuff. So highly recommend. Do not buy it from the store. Make your own. It will be a lot cheaper, I promise. So there is that. And then I did have one more crafty thing. So when I was younger, my dad had this friend who was into a lot of scrapbooking, and she had given me a lot of different supplies for it, a lot of paper and stamps and all that kind of stuff. And so she gave me this one piece of paper. It was like a cardstock, and it had a whole bunch of different Halloween, like vintage kind of pictures on it. And I fell in love with that picture. It was so adorable, and I knew I wanted to do something with the individual pictures at some point. Never knew what I wanted to do. Finally, I pulled the trigger a couple weeks ago, and I decided to make them into little blocks that I could put in my Halloween display. And now I would love to make more of these, and I've tried looking on different craft websites, like scrapbooking websites, and I'm really not finding what I really wanted. So if any of you scrapbook and you know what I'm trying to find, please help me try to find it. It's like a really thick cardstock, and it had a whole bunch of different like individual pictures on it, and that I would assume that you would cut out and put in your scrapbook. And they're vintage style. I really like the vintage style, but I'll show you now so you actually know what I'm talking about. But there is this flying lessons, and they're all done on this plywood maybe. I asked my dad to cut these out individually for each one, and he was a saint, and he actually did it for me. And then I painted them all, and then I just Mod Podged the pictures on, and I cut them out of the original sheet. So this was all one sheet. You know what? I actually have... There was a couple in the paper that I wasn't interested. So there's like, it's a cardstock, and it's kind of glossy, and all of these were on the same sheet. So I'm not sure what to look up to even find these. But if any of you know, please let me know. And then we also have this little owl. It says Halloween. And then Best Witches with this little cat and broomstick. We have Halloween Joys with that cute little kid on the pumpkin. We have Halloween Cutie with this little girl on a pumpkin and the little cat. Have Don't Be a Scaredy Cat with that little kitty. And Pick of the Patch. So stinking cute. I love them all. We have little pumpkins all in a row putting on a pumpkin show. And this one is probably my favorite. It is Welcome to Spooksville, but they're pumpkin people. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. And then we have this Halloween menu. I'm not going to read them all out. If you want to pause, you can pause. Hopefully you can see that. So cute. And the last one, Halloween. They're all so stinking cute, and I can't wait to like just stick them in my little tier tray when it's Halloween. I think they're so adorable. I really liked the vintage style of these. That's what I'm trying to find. It's really hard to find anything that matches this, so I'm having some trouble. But if any of you know what I could look up for this, what that would even be called, please point me in the right direction. I am desperate. I really want these for other seasons, or even more for Halloween. I don't care, but they're so adorable. And I'm so glad I was finally able to use that piece of paper. It has been sitting in my supplies for literally probably like 15-20 years. Like, it has been a really long time. Probably not 20 years. Okay, might have exaggerated a little bit, but definitely like 15. Okay. So next we have my FO, which I dropped on the floor. All right. I am very excited about this FO. I did not want to film this video until I had this project done. So I was working on this for hours every day, and I'm so glad I finally got it done. It is 5 Kittens by Joy Sunday Cross Stitch. It is a stamped cross stitch kit, and it is on 11 count Aida, and it turned out so cute. I'm so glad it's done. Here, look at those kitties, adorable. So Deanne from Stitching on the Rock had suggested to get this one done that I do 1 thread a day, or 1 length of thread a day, to try to get it done. I don't stitch every single day, so I decided every day that I do stitch, before I work on another project, I had to put a length of thread in on this project. And what ended up happening was, most of the time I would do that, and then I'd be like, well, I gotta do another one. Like, I gotta keep going here. And so I would do more and more. And some days I set out to just do 1 length of thread on this, and then I would just keep going, and it would be the only project I would actually work on during the day. I did go back and forth between doing the black background and filling in this cat, which all I had left to do when I picked it back up was to fill in this cat. And then the border, I was down around here, so I had all of this, some of this, and then some of this up here, and then all up here. And I had all the back stitching. I did, once I finished this cat, I was working on the background, and then I would go and outline like this cat. This cat was completely filled in around it, so I could do that one. And then I did the outline on that one, and then I would go back and forth and do the background, and then do the outlining. So I did break it up a little bit, but by the end, all that was left was the background, which was a lot. It was a lot. I am so glad to have this one done. I have to wash this to try to get all of the stamping off of it now, which I'm actually kind of excited for. I want to see how that turns out. And then I'm definitely going to be framing this. I'm going to see if I have a frame that fits. I have no idea what size this actually is. I haven't measured it, but I would like to get a frame for this one if I don't have one already. But I'm super excited to get this one done. I'll show you it all framed up hopefully the next video. But yeah, I'm so happy to get this one done, and so happy to have it off my whip list. It had been on there for too long. So exciting. Okay, those are all my FFOs and FOs. Next, I have whips, and I have a piddly amount of whips because I was working so much on my 5 Kittens and this other project that I was working on. This is the Enchanted Realms Stitch Along by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I don't have a full picture to show you because, let me take the time to take it out of my hoop, which I forgot to do before. It was a mystery stitch along from last year, and I got way behind, and I knew I would, so I didn't even bother trying to keep up after like the 2nd release. And I dyed this fabric specifically for this project. It is a 14 count, and it's on like teal and purple and green. It's a whole bunch of different colors. But I am so close to being done on this. It is so exciting. I really wanted to get it done for this video, but it was definitely not going to happen. So here's the whole thing. Sorry it's so wrinkly. My hoop, I accidentally left my hoop on for way too long. But the last you saw it, I was up here in the Pegasus. I had just finished the rainbow, I believe. I think you guys saw the rainbow. And then I just had this Pegasus left to do. And then I started on the next spot, which was this falcon? Phoenix. I'm pretty sure that's a phoenix. I knew the word was there somewhere in my brain. I'm pretty sure that's a phoenix. And then there's like a witch or a warlock, or I'm not sure what you want to call him, but he is down here. All I have left on him is his robe, I'm pretty sure. And then there's a little suitcase over here, and then one more tree. And I think that's it for this section as well. And then there's just one more section down here, which is, I don't know what they are. They're like maybe elves, but they also kind of look like they're kind of troll-like almost. I'm not sure, you guys will have to tell me when I finish stitching it, but I'm super happy with this. I'm trying to get a round frame. I started looking for round frames for this. I'm not sure what color frame I want to do. I'm kind of leaning towards purple or like another fun color, but I'm not sure. I might end up just doing black. That's what I usually end up doing. Pretty much every frame that I have is black for some reason. I think it just matches with everything really well. But I'm so happy with where I am at this one. And it is in my plans to get this one done by my next video. And I think I can do it because it's pretty easy stitching. And it's not a lot left. So I'm really hoping to get this one done for my next video. Okay, so I was spending a lot of time on that one. And then I have been working on some model stitching, more than what I'm showing you right now. I finished 2 little freebies that are coming out in the fall. Oh, and I finished Scarecrow Sam, and I have another release coming out probably in September. So my next one that I'm working on right now is a Christmas release, and I'm going to show it really quickly. And that's all you get for right now. I really need to get back to this one because I've been just working on 5 kittens for a long time. And since this one was not going to be coming out for a couple months still, I thought I could put it to the side, but I have another Christmas release I really want to get out. So, and that one's going to take a long time. So I really need to get back to my model stitching. And then the only other whip I have is a little Christmas ornament. And I really haven't been working on it that much either. I have a bag of oh, sorry, I dropped it again. This is a bag of pre-kitted Christmas ornaments that I kitted up last year, so they're all in their individual bags. So I was just carrying this around in case I wanted to stitch something Christmassy. So I did pull this out. I think you saw this once before. It is by Pinker & Pumpkin Quilting. It's a free pattern. It just looks like that, and it says cheer at the bottom. It's kind of part of a little bit of a series. She's done a couple of these before where they have like this at the top and then a word down at the bottom. So I've done a couple of them before, and I want to try to do all of them if I could possibly do that. Eventually, I'll get there. So I really didn't do too much actually since you last saw me. I've just been filling in Santa's sleigh. So after that, I just have to do this little bit up here and that little bit down there, and then his hat and his shirt. And then I have a couple rows of snow, cheer, and then that border at the top. So not too much, but it is not a priority right now. It's just nice to have a little bit of Christmas stitching every now and then. So I just pull it out whenever I really need some Christmas in the moment. But I will be finishing this as a Christmas ornament probably. Getting ahead of myself with some Christmas, but I really kind of needed it. And I think this bag might be almost done for. That's not good. It's an old bag. I reuse my plastic bags. So those are all of my whips. I do have quite a bit of haul. I have not been buying so much lately. And then I went to Michael's, and I think I just wanted to see their clearance stuff, and they had a lot of their summer stuff on clearance, which was a really good price, like 75% off or something like that, maybe 70% off. And I did really well, and I pretty much only bought stuff that was on clearance. And then I went to Michael's after work one day, and it's a Michael's that I've never been to before, and it was a lot bigger. And so they had a lot of stuff that my Michael's never even got. And they had some really exciting things, so I got some stuff there. And I had a $15 rewards coupon. I don't know, rewards money, like it was $15 that I could spend because it was a rewards, because I spent too much before. And I needed to make sure that I had more than $15 in order to make the purchase. So I went a little bit overboard on the stuff that I bought. And I also had my birthday was last week, and the only stitching thing that I got was a 3 set of Q-snaps, which I can't find the brand. They're like a really cheap off-brand, but they came in a set of 3, and I really wanted a Q-snap to be able to work on 5 kittens because it was really thick and it was hard to hold in my hands. So I got this really nice set. Not really nice. It's cheap. They don't hold the fabric as well, but I needed something and I didn't really care. So this is the 6x6 size. This is the one that I used for 5 kittens. And then it also has an 8x8 and an 11x11 size. I really liked the teal color. That was the color that I really wanted. They come in a couple different colors. It's just on the corners that the colors are. I don't know the brand. I found them on Amazon, but I'm hoping they work really well for what I need, and I'm not too picky about it. So I got those for my birthday. And then on to my Michaels haul. It is all in this big bag. You can already see, like I said, I will tell you, but most of this was from the spring and summer section, and it was on super clearance. So I got these little flowers. They're super cute. I got these like lily of the valley kind of flowers. I use these a lot for my pictures and stuff, so that's why I needed a lot of pictures. Flowers, floral picks. They're super cute, and they were so cheap, so cheap. They're like less than $3 for each of these. I got these purple ones. A lot of these are purple. I don't know why. Might like purple. And then I got this pink one, which is very similar. And then there's a couple that have fallen off. They fell off in the store, and I just kind of tucked them in my little picks, and then you get them. And then I found this really cute wreath. Now, this bag keeps falling. It is a really cute wreath. So my thought is maybe sticking a little stitching inside there. I think that would be really cute. If not, then I could just use this as decor because it's really adorable. And like I said, super cheap. But I really like purple, I guess. So, but I think like a little like sheep or like something in the middle, I think that would look really good there. So I had to get that. And then we got some 4th of July ribbon. You can never have enough ribbon. I found this summer piece, which is like a beach kind of thing. And I do have like a beach decor section going on. My thought is either this could be just a nice background display, or I can finish little stitching pieces on here in the corners. Something beach themed. I think that would look really cute there as well. So I got that. I'm running out of room. This was not on clearance, but I couldn't say no. It's sunflowers, and it's an over-the-door like hook. And I ignored it the first time I went to Michael's. Thought it was really cute. Held myself back. Then the second time I needed to spend more than $15, so I was like, I gotta get it, right? Because I need to make sure I spend more than $15. So I had to get that, and you know, sunflowers are my favorite flower, so I had to get that. And then I found these wooden strawberries. Forgot the word. They do have like a little pattern on them, but I'm almost thinking I might just paint them anyway, because I don't really like that they're not painted. So I might paint them. Maybe it would be cool to do like a stain, like a reddish stain on here. That might be cool. Might have to do that. I'm not sure, but that'll be a later problem. That'll be nice to add to my little, with my strawberry jam patterns and stuff. So I think that'd be really cute. And then I have 3 things left in here, and I have a little story. So my cousin and I went to Michael's. We go to Michael's together a lot because we really like Michael's. And it's the only craft store we have around here, and it's already half an hour from my house. So we make it a trip when we go. We went before 4th of July. I think it was probably in the middle of June, early, something like that, not sure. Before the stuff went on really good sale. And I found these 3 4th of July pieces that were really cute, and I stood in the aisle for way too long trying to decide if I wanted to spend the money on getting them or not. And ultimately I decided they were too much money and I didn't need them that much, so I decided not to get them. I didn't regret it, but I also was really sad that I wasn't able to get them. But whatever, you know. And then when I dragged her, she totally went with me willingly, for the super sales. I was like, I really hope that I can find some of those things that I really wanted to get, but I didn't want to spend all the money on. Hopefully they're a really good deal, and hopefully they actually have some left, because they're really cute, and I wasn't sure if there would be any left. So as soon as we got there, we were looking and didn't find them. We were about to leave, and there was this one little section in the corner that had more 4th of July stuff, and immediately I saw this chair, and I'm like, oh my god, that's the one I wanted, exactly. And I talked myself out of it the first time because I have so many chairs. For some reason, I really like chairs, and I really wanted the red one, and I think they had the red one and the blue one, or maybe the red and the white, I can't remember. I think it was the blue one, and I really wanted it, but I was like, whatever, I don't know what to do with it. But it was on sale, so I immediately grabbed it. I'm like, oh my god, what are the chances? Awesome, right? And then I looked around a little bit more, and they had the second one that I really wanted, which was the red picnic table. Absolutely adorable. I talked myself out of this one the first time also because I have my own picnic table that I handmade from pieces of an old furniture, and I really like that one too. And this one's really big, and I'm not sure how I want to decorate with it. This one will be something I have to think about for a while, but I have it, and I immediately grabbed it. I said, what are the absolute chances that they had both of the things that I really wanted? And I was so happy. And on our way home, I said, I feel like there was a third thing that I really wanted. And I was like, I guess they didn't have it. If I saw it, I would have known that it was the thing that I really wanted. And so I was like, okay, but you know, 2 out of 3, that's really good, right? And I was super excited I finally got those. And then when I went to the other Michael's, after work one day, I was looking around, and what did I see? The third item. And I'm like, that was it. That's what I really, really wanted. This little wagon. You can so easily put some little pillows in here. And Christy from Jobber Girl Stitches, she also showed this in her video after I had seen it at the store. And I'm like, man, I really should have gotten that, because even she's like displaying with it, and her displays are awesome. Definitely go watch her if you want some really good ideas. And I'm like, if she's showing it, there's not going to be any more left. These probably went super quick, but I found them at the bigger Michael's, and I was so excited. I sprinted over. I saw it from a distance, and I immediately sprinted over there and grabbed it for anybody else could get it. And I absolutely love it. It is so adorable, and I'm definitely going to be able to have a 4th of July display next year. This year I wasn't able to because I didn't have enough stuff to go in here, so I just kind of put all my other stuff out too. So exciting to have this. My pillows usually are pretty small, so I am gonna have to like put some kind of filler in here or something, but I'm so happy I got all 3. And what are the chances? And in the colors that I wanted, I was kind of really tempted because they had a red one, a white one, and a blue one. And at the first Michael's, I think they had the red and the blue, and at the second they had the white ones too. And I thought, oh, red, white, and blue would look really nice, but I did hold myself back on that. I did not get all 3 because that would be a little too much, and I don't even know what I'm going to do with this. I'm probably going to put like a pillow on it or something, but I held myself back on that one. So that is all my haul. That is a lot of haul. And I'm so excited. I just really wanted to display everything now, so it'll be nice for next year. Okay. So we have plans, and I have some new start ideas. So I'm going to start with my plans. Like I said, I really want to finish Enchanted Realm Stitch Along. That is at the top of my list. I'm really in the mode right now. I've been thinking about this a lot. Last year, usually I'm a mood stitcher, and for a long time I was a monogamous stitcher. I pretty much stitched on one project. Every now and then I would have a couple projects going just if I got bored or if I had a really big project. But until like, I'm gonna say 2021, I think, I had no more than 5 projects on the go at one time. And that was really good for me. I was able to focus on things, get things done really quickly, and that made me really happy. And then in 2024 and 2023-ish, I started picking up more and more projects. I just couldn't hold myself back from starting things. And then I started Flosstube in 2024, and I really wanted a lot of things to stitch on and to share with you guys. And I just really wanted a lot of different projects. So I did Whip Mania, and I started 16 new projects on top of like the already 16 projects that I had going. So I got up into like the 30s of whips, and very quickly afterwards I realized that's way too much for me. I spent the rest, maybe like the last third of 2024 kind of going, maybe this is too much for me. Maybe I need to start paring down, try to get some things done. And then I had hoped to do Whip Mania again this year, but going into 2025, I thought if I'm doing Whip Mania again, I really don't want to have this many projects and then add another 16, because I started one every other day. So that, I was like, I really don't want that many projects. So I started trying to get projects done. I've only started maybe 3 or 4 projects in this whole entire year that are still on my whip list, I think. I think I might have started a couple really small projects and finished them right away. But if it ended up on my whip list, it was around 3 or 4, I think. So that was pretty good. I have been working really hard this whole year to try to get a whole bunch of projects done, and I think I've been doing really well. I don't know the whip number I'm at right now. I think it's in the 20s. I think I'm under 25, and I think I'm definitely under 25 now that I finished 5 kittens and 4th of July round. So this year, so last year was Whip Mania, the year of many starts. This year is the year of finishing all of my starts and trying to get things off my whip list to try to get back down to a more manageable number, a number that doesn't stress me out so much, and a number that if I pull a project, I know I'm going to be able to spend some time on it because I'm not being pulled in all these different directions to try and get all these different whips done. So what works for me is not going to work for everybody. I'm totally jealous of everybody who has like 50 plus whips. I know Made by Michelle McGraw and Unfinished Stitches, they have tons of whips. Super jealous, and I wish I could have that many whips because then I could stitch on whatever I want to stitch on at the moment. But that is just not me at the end of the day. I really need to have a small number of whips. Ideally, it would be under 10. I'm thinking I'm going to try to get down to it as much as I possibly can. A couple of my whips are Christmas ornaments. I think I have 2 or 3 whips that are just really small Christmas ornaments, so they are going to take some time. I have 2 that are big, like multiple projects in one pattern, like the Santas. If you know my Santas, there's 17 different Santa patterns in the one project, and I don't want to finish them until I won't take it off my whip list until all of those Santas are done. So that one's going to be on my whip list for a really long time. I have a giant map from the Avatar show. That's going to be like a project that I'm going to take into my 50s probably because it's huge, and I just, like I said, I don't have the time to stitch on it because I'm stitching on all the others projects. So if I get my whip number down, then I feel like I can have the more time to be able to stitch on it. I'm not going to be drawn to be like, well, I have all these other projects that I should be stitching on instead of this one, which is not going to get done for a long time. Like, that's my thinking usually, and I don't like that. So I really want to get my whip number down, hopefully below 10. I'm going to have to count after this video to see how many whips I have left, but that's my goal for this year. I think next year I'm going to, the next thing that's kind of stressing me out is I have a lot of finishing pieces, which definitely did not help me with buying more, but it made me happy, so it was worth it. I have a lot of finishing pieces that I have specific pieces in mind that I want to stitch to go on each finishing piece. So I'm thinking 2026 might be the year of starting projects that go on specific finishing boards and stuff like that. So I have another chair that I bought, I think it was around Christmas time, because I went with my sister-in-law and my brother. It is a chair that was from the spring collection that has a dragonfly on it on the back, and I know exactly what piece that I want to stitch on it, but I haven't done it because I really have a lot of whips and I really want to get that whip number down. So 2024, the year of all the starts. 2025, the year of working on all of my finishes and trying to get everything finished that I could possibly get finished. And 2026 is the year of starting things that go on specific pieces. So those are my thoughts right now. I am liable to change for sure, but we'll see. So plans, that was kind of a long-winded kind of thing to get my plans, but I felt like that needs to be said. Also, I should probably say my stress is something that I put on myself. I am okay with that kind of stress. I know it's okay to have a lot of whips. I am totally okay with other people having a lot of whips, but it's not something that works for me. And if at the end of the day I do have a lot of whips, it is what it is, and I can just work to get them down. It's okay. So I'm okay. But those are my thoughts lately. So the next whips that I really want to work on to try to get to a finish, Enchanted Realm Stitch Along, and then I have two more that I'm thinking of focusing on next. This one is a project that my grandma has gifted me and my cousin. It comes with 6 trucks. It is the Design Works Crafts Holiday Pickups. And her idea was we would split it down the middle, and like I would do 3 and she would do 3, my cousin would do 3. So we split the whole kit up, so I only have half of the supplies. The problem with this was when I was trying to cut the plastic canvas that came with this kit, I could not figure out a way to cut it where each piece was even and enough that we could fit the whole truck on. And I thought I had gotten it right because I pre-cut all the plastic canvas so that my cousin could have her own 3 and then I would have my own 3. But there's one stitch on each truck that I have to, like one row of stitching that I have to leave off because it is not wide enough. And the other problem with this, they're super cute, and I'm super grateful for my grandma for giving this to me and my cousin. I don't want to stitch 3 trucks. So that was my problem with this project also. I haven't been working on it because I'm just, the idea of having to stitch 3 of the same trucks pretty much was just the bed changing was not interesting for me. So I had started, I believe I was doing the red trucks. The other problem with, I split the floss in half, so I don't think I'm going to even have enough floss. Which one am I working on? I think I'm working on the one with the present. Yes, I'm working on the red truck with the presents in the back. And this is as far as I got. And I was kind of upset that I had to leave a stitch off at the end. But I think I made it work pretty well. I didn't leave off much. It's just like 4 stitches pretty much. Or maybe that's the beginning. I don't even know. It's been forever since I've worked on this project. So I would like to get some more stitchings in on this and see how far I can get. And then I am going to not de-kit this, but unwhip it, if that makes sense. I'm not going to consider, after I finish this one, I'm not going to consider this a whip anymore. I'm going to take all of the supplies, the canvas, the pattern, and the floss, put them in a Ziploc bag, and just put them back on my shelf. If in the future I decide that I want to stitch more of them, I have the supplies, I can still do it, but I'm not going to feel pressured to stitch the other ones. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I'm going to be okay with that. Because usually if it's a whip, I feel like I have to stitch all of these in order to make it not a whip anymore. I can't just let it sit in a bag and put it somewhere. Unless I take it from my mind that it's not a whip anymore and I don't have to do the rest of them. If that makes sense. It made sense in my head when I decided this. But this is going to be something I focus on because I feel like it's not too much stitching. It's a lot of stitching, but it's not too much stitching. So I would like to get this one done. So that's one that I'm going to work on. And then the other one that I think I'm going to work on is a Halloween piece because I'm feeling a little Halloween. It is Double Double by the Prairie Schooler, and I pretty much have not worked on this one since Mania last year, which is crazy. That was so long ago. And this is where I'm at on this one. Barely got anywhere. I would love to put some more stitches in. If I don't finish this one this year, I am totally okay with that. I'm losing my needle. I'm totally okay. I just really want to get some work done on this one. I'm not going to keep working on this one until it's done, and I'm okay with that. So this one, I have focus pieces, my focus pieces, Enchanted Realm Stitch Along, but then these are other ones that I can just kind of pull out and try to get to the point where they can become focused to a finished piece. So this is one of those. And those are my plans. I have some new start ideas. So I haven't pulled the trigger on these yet, but I was thinking maybe I was going to do a birthday start, and then I kind of chickened out, and because I have to buy the floss and I have to dye my fabric, and I just couldn't decide which one I wanted to start. So my options were Harvest Time by the Prairie Schooler, and in this one, I really wanted to do the village scene up at the top. That is my absolute favorite part of this whole thing. If I end up stitching these one day, I would just do the motifs in the middle. But I really, really, really like the village scene. I want to get all of the villages from the Prairie Schooler, all of them that look like this, because that's my favorite. It's my favorite art style, I guess. If you guys know Charles Wazaki, he is my favorite artist of all time, and he does like these village scenes in all of his art, and I've done a lot of the puzzles that were made from his art, and I just really like the village scenes. So I love all the villages. There's a couple others. I keep seeing it everywhere. I can't remember what it's called. It's a village scene. I know Helen D is stitching it. I don't think she finished it yet. It's a fall one, and it's stitched on a green fabric, and I can't remember who it's by. I can't remember, but you don't stitch the grass because it's on a green fabric and has like pumpkins, and it's like a village on a hill kind of. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember who it's by. But anyway, I really like that fabric, that pattern too, and I would love to get that one someday. But I love all the little village scenes, so I really want to stitch this one. And then the other one I couldn't decide on was Thanksgiving Comes Again by the Prairie Schooler. And I really like this one. I'm definitely going to stitch these one day also. Individually, of course. I would not stitch them all together if you know me. I split everything up. But I really, really, really like this one. It reminds me of going to my grandparents' house for Thanksgiving every year. They lived on a farm, and it's just, I get all the feelings when I look at this one, and I love this one so much. So I really also wanted to stitch this one, but I couldn't decide which one I wanted to stitch more in the moment. So I decided on none of them. If I can't decide right now, then I'm not making the decision right now. I'm just going to keep working on getting my whip count down. And then the other one that I've been feeling a lot of vibes towards is Search the Sky by Waxing Moon Designs. This is one of the first patterns that I got when I discovered 1, 2, 3 Stitch back in like 2018, I think. absolutely love this piece. It says, "May you never be too grown up to search the sky on Christmas Eve." It doesn't even look like a lot of stitching. It's just a lot of words and some snowflakes. And I already have my fabric. I think I'm gonna re-dye this though to try to add a little black into it to try to make it a little bit darker. So that would be something I would have to do also. But I don't really have like a big Christmas piece right now. I have my Santas, and I have I also have a big embroidery project that's Christmassy, wintry kind of. And then I also have by Country Cottage Needleworks or Little House Needleworks. It's the what's it called? Christmas in the City, something like that. It's all the buildings. I'm also working on that project. So those, besides my Christmas ornaments, I think that's my only Christmas projects, which I love Christmas, and that is appalling to me. So that would fill that kind of void. But the only reason I haven't started these yet, besides needing to get floss for them, because these are ones that I would want to do right and get the right floss for, and besides needing to do the fabric, I just don't want to pull the trigger until my whip count is a little bit lower. I don't want to like, oh, I finished a whip, now I can restart a new one, and then it just immediately adds the number back up again. So I was definitely gonna wait to start these until after I finished 5 Kittens and Enchanted Realm Stitch Along and the 4th of July round. So I got 2 out of 3 done. So after I finish Enchanted Realms, I might revisit these, see where I'm feeling. If I'm really feeling like I want to start one of these, I'm gonna try to kit it up. If I'm not, if I'm still holding off on it, then I'm just gonna put these away and I can start them another time, and I think that's okay. So we'll have to see, but these are my thoughts. If you could start one of these, which one would you start? Would you start Search the Sky, Harvest Time, or Thanksgiving Comes Again? What's your favorite out of these 3? Because I'm very curious to know what you guys would start. I love them all. I bought them all. Obviously, I really want to stitch them all. And every time I go look through my shelf full of all my projects, all my patterns that I've bought over the years, they just stick out so much and they just call to me. So if I start anything, it would be one of those 3 probably. But yeah, I think I'm gonna hold off for a while. I almost caved when it was my birthday, and I thought maybe I could do a birthday start, but that would not make me feel good for my birthday because I wanted to get some whips done. And yeah, so I think that's about it. I don't really have any life updates. Things have just been pretty much the same since I last saw you. Just been working. Garden's going good. I've been pet sitting a lot. I feel like every single person I've known has gone on vacation in the past week or is on vacation this week. So I've been pet sitting for a lot of people. And I think that's about it. It's almost an hour, so I will let you all go. I will see you maybe in another month. That seems to be working. It's just whenever I have the time to film. I work away from home for most of the week, so I really can only film on Fridays or on the weekend, and I don't always have the availability, so that's why my videos are so much farther apart now. And I think that's it. So I will see you guys in my next video, and have a great one. Bye!